go here, and then I can go back on. I think we're going to be live soon. Just wait for it to fire up. Just wait for some people to jump on. Oh, yeah, we are live. And something's happening to our screen. We're going funny.
It's working?
Yeah, it's working. We are live, just waiting for people to fire up. Yeah, talk about a Mercury retrograde.
Are we still in? Oh, yeah, it's till June 20th, right?
Yeah, I mean, can really feel it here, can't we? So going through, it was happening to Jason's show yesterday. One person's on. Yeah, okay. Can everyone just tell me if you've joined the show that you can hear us properly after that commotion?
Oh, I look crazy in the thumbnail. Oh my God, I look stoned.
This is live, by the way. We are live. 4 people. Yeah, just waiting to see if they can hear us, because I'm just looking at it on live on the YouTube, and it's the thing with StreamYard is it shows you that the people are fired up. With YouTube, it doesn't. So you have to physically go and watch it on your own channel.
I haven't met anybody who used StreamYard yet. So
Huh?
I haven't met anybody who's used StreamYard.
It's just, yeah, I mean, so good. It's so much easier. You can create like your own kind of brand and stuff. But okay, I think we're getting some people. Yes, thank you, Ruben. They can hear us. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. There was a bit of a kerfuffle, and but we got there, and apparently we got there at Wasim's time in New York, I believe, at 11 minutes past 11. So with that said, Wasim, welcome, and how are you today?
I'm really, really good. Every day gets better and better. It's like an exponential increase. How about you? How are you doing?
Well, I mean, this is all like, you know, working out very well. We're on the channel now, and it was supposed to be on Facebook as well, because, you know, you get a wider reach as well with it being on YouTube and with it being on Facebook. But anyway, I am really good. I think we're in some interesting times. This month especially has been, just from an observing point of view, seeing where everyone's at, really. It's quite toxic I'm saying this in a positive way. And that's why we wanted to name this show, you know, how can we transform the toxicity that we are observing, witnessing, maybe feeling internally, going through ourselves, purging, all these things. And it's interesting times to see how can we get over this? How do we transmute this? And we are met with frustrating situations on a daily basis. So, for example, I was in a cafe earlier on, and it's in an area where everyone has got the Jabberwocky. That's the nickname. That's Catherine Edwards' name. She was great. She was going, we'll call it the Jabberwocky. And then she kept saying the V name. But yeah, loads of people have it. Now, I don't know about you. I've been walking away, and I haven't ordered my pine nettle tea. Sorry, Monica. She's been getting me to do that. But my zeolite's finished for 1 week, and I have found a bit of a difference.
Is that the one that Gene Decode mentions? The zeolites? Oh.
I don't.
It's to help with the
shedding.
Yeah.
And then there's lots that you can do to help with that, but I'm just noticing, you know, quite a bit of change,
frustration.
Yeah.
And
how are things for you over there in New York? It's the first time you've come on my on my channel as a solo. The last time we were together was with Tiana and Charlie. So yeah.
Well, first off, I'm very, very grateful for this because now we've connected, and you've been such a fighter for the past year, even longer. And everything you do, I so mean this from my heart, is so powerful. It is so like amazing to see. Like, there's not a lot of people in my area that are doing what you do, and you're doing it really well. And I really, really mean this because everybody loves you. I don't know about haters because I don't read those. I don't focus on that. But everyone who I speak to, they love you.
Thank you.
And you deserve it.
That's really too kind. But I think we all have our roles, Wasim, and it's very sweet of you to say that. And I think we're trying to figure our stuff out, and everyone is responding to what's happened in the last 15 months according to their own inner intuitive drive to do so. And mine was rage, and righteous rage, I think, which was the motivational factor for me to speak up. And, I'll tell you a secret, my YouTube audience know this, that I didn't like public speaking. I didn't like any of that. But what we are going through, this is not like, I was saying this to a friend the other day, this movement is about all of us. We're collectively coming together. And it's given us an opportunity to meet people across the world that we probably would never have met. We're all in our own little bubbles. I mean, I know as much as it's difficult to see it like that, because this last 15 months have been arduous, but we're meeting like-minded souls and connecting like this. So, and all for what? To raising humanity's frequency and vibration. So, yeah.
And another thing, it's just that we're all scattered around the world because I think it has to be that way because when it's time for the reveal, we are all in different areas where we can help our group and we can help shed the light, so to say, because you're shedding the light in the UK. You're actually shedding the light all over the world. But in your area specifically, you'll be able to do that. And where I'm in New York City and New Jersey, I'll be able to do that as well. We'll all have the opportunities to do that. And I've also noticed that it is getting more toxic out there. It's very, very crazy. I think people are experiencing Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
And is that our landlord? Oh, wow. Okay. So what I'm saying is that the spreading of positivity, it's exponentially increasing. And for people like you and myself, it's going to keep expanding, and there's going to come a point where people are going to need the help.
Yeah.
And
they're in New York. I mean, I speak to Mel K, and we both sort of say that people are really waking up, but there still seems to be a bit of resistance. And I think you're right. The Stockholm Syndrome is certainly something that I'm observing, especially with what we've seen come out over the course of the last week, with the revelations. So much out there in the media, which is suggesting this. Not even suggesting, it's blatantly saying everything that's been going on has been a lie. And yet people just go into that cognitive dissonance immediately because they don't want to acknowledge it's a fear factor, isn't it? That they could be right. Our family could be saying that crazy girl could be right. That crazy guy could be right. So it's I think we're there at the moment,
I believe we are, and I believe like in the next coming, I don't know, I don't want to give times or dates or anything, but when this gets revealed, I don't know how much more people are going to deny, especially when it's right in front of their faces. But at that point, I believe that it'll be time for us to, instead of saying, I told you so, it's more of a time to be like, we're here for you. And I really, really genuinely mean this because at first it was anger and pride, because I've gotten a lot of issues with my family. I don't know if that's the same for you, but it gets to the point where at first I was like, when this happens, I told you so. but I don't care about that anymore because I see how much people are hurting. I see how much this is making people suffer. And I don't want to be more of the suffering for them. I want to be like, hey, I know you just heard the crazy news of what's going on, but it's okay. I was there too. And when you tell them that you were there too, it makes them feel more comfortable.
But let's be realistic. Is that happening? Is that really happening at the moment? Because you see, I'm all for the positivity. And I said this yesterday on Jason's show yesterday. And I said that, you know, there's that love and light, but there's also the, like, hang on a minute, there is that self-respect and self-preservation where, you know what, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. I get that. And people can meet you as far as they've met themselves. I also get that. But when you are presenting factual, scientific data to them, and there is that cognitive dissonance, we can say the programming. What I think a lot of people, because I speak to so many different people, the frustrations, and so I get a balanced kind of overview of everybody's what they're going through, and I try and respond to as many people as I can who message me on Facebook, and I hear a lot of their stories, and I want to, because I want to understand how do we evolve from this, which is the best approach. Well, there's no one, you know, one size fits all, but there is frustration because people are resistant to and not willing to or be open to the truth, to actual factual data. Okay, let's take it back to like 10 months ago. Yeah, I can understand. Then it's just like, oh, it's a bit too much, but we have progressed. I mean, look at what's happening here in the UK. We've gone back into a lockdown because of a new variant. And I spoke to a family member, and I wanted to see them. I wanted to see the kids, and I just said, whenever you're open to meeting, because we can still meet. And they just said, look, you know, you've been to the protests, and we've all taken the Jabberwocky, so it's just a little bit too much. Sorry, come again. I've gone to the protest. You lot have taken that, so you're going to be fearful of me because I've gone to the protest. Surely, what you've taken should be, because the reason you took it is it prevents you from getting any of the viruses, any of the variants, right? So look at what's happening here, Wasim. That the logic is now completely getting thwarted. Like, logic is completely being thrown out. Is that what you're experiencing there
Yeah, scrambled all over the place. And but it's gonna get even more crazy. I think there's gonna come a point where there's a breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point. And I believe that it's coming very, very soon. It's getting more and more extreme and more polarizing, so it's more separate, but it has to just, everything needs to be destroyed in order to rebuild. And that I think sometimes we forget the end game, which is ultimately world peace and happiness. That's the result of this. So we usually have to experience the bad first to comprehend what'll happen before the positive comes in. But these people that are extremely polarized, I really do not know what's going to happen to them. I feel that the cognitive dissonance is going to be to the extreme, but I really comprehend what you're saying, because it's really bad right now. The people who got the Jabberwocky, they want nothing to do with non-Jabba people.
Walkies.
Yeah, it's literally become a war, a spiritual war between the Jabberwockies and the non-Jabberwockies.
I've just got a message from a lovely person in all the way from Australia. Sony Shine, good vibes and love from Australia. Yes, the state of Victoria here went back into lockdown because we have 5 cases of the new variant, apparently. Which one was it? Was it the Jamaican one? Was it the Taiwan? Was it the Indian one? Was it me? Was I there?
But they're making it so much more obvious now. Like they made the Indian one, and then people in India basically said, hey, it's not true, it's a lie. So they're showing you proof. I think they're what they're doing is they're getting people ready for the reveal. I really do believe this because it's blatantly obvious now at this point for people on a higher vibration, just like Charlie Ward says, you can see it. You can clearly see that the president, he does not look the same as he did 4 years ago. Different earlobes, different eyes, different nose. And then you see the flab, they make it obvious. You see the green screens, you see the CGI. And then they keep saying, oh, you need to go back to lockdown. There are so many signs to wake up. You just got to find one that does not make sense. And I believe that's the way to get out of the matrix. And the way out is to figure out what is wrong with our system right now. Maybe look at the ingredients on the food that you pick up. Maybe that's the first thing that you see, and you see something that says soybean oil as the first ingredient because it's made with cheap stuff. And then you research what that stuff does to your body. Then maybe just 10 minutes out of your time to listen to one of these conspiracy theorists, just hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Because it's not conspiracy anymore. The only difference between conspiracies and truth is what, 6 to 12 months?
So we've got someone from Canada saying that they've just coming out of lockdown. See, this is just this inconsistency with what's going on. And here in the UK, you know, everyone, I keep saying to my friends, are you surprised? I mean, it was obvious. It's hitting so many industries hard. A lot of my close friends are in the wedding industry. I mean, it's just devastating for them as the suppliers, for the people getting married, because, you know, it's this preparation for their big day. And you know what our Indian weddings are like and Asian weddings are like, you know, very exuberant, about 50 different occasions and 10,000 people in the wedding. It's not 10,000 people, but some people about 1,000. My brother had about 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and that was small. We couldn't invite everybody, but this is the thing. But you see, you know, so many industries are being hit hard. It's, you know, crushing the economy. But everything's moving online, and that's great to a certain degree. But you know, I'm all about like supporting the local trade. I'm not into this whole consumerist society and the big conglomerates. I just feel that, you know, so much is happening, but you say that this is pushing people to wake up. I think that the Jabberwocky has actually like screwed us up even more.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's why we're still in it.
Polarized situation that you said, even more.
But the thing is, yeah, because of them, we have to prolong this, but we can't really put the blame on them because they're trapped in fear. They're really trapped. And we have, you know, it's righteous for us to show our sympathy and everything like that, but it's frustrating. But I do believe that they have to hit you where it hurts. Yeah. So they're hitting people financially, because if you mess with people's money, people are going to start caring. That's why I believe this economy, this whole world economy is going to crash, because it'll affect everyone. And at that point, when you take away people's money, they're gonna pay attention now. You have to hit everyone where it hurts, unfortunately. And this is the only way to do it. It really does make sense when you think about the plan and think about what they're doing with this whole Biden administration, raising taxes by over 63%, really? And they're actually doing it. The prices of insulin went up from $50 to $4,500 a month. That's not even a small fraction. That's a big increase. They're doing this on purpose. And that excites me because I see it. I see what they're doing. And I understand that we have to be around these people sometimes, whether it's work, go to a cafe and pick up your favorite coffee, whatever it is. But when you know the bigger picture and you trust the bigger picture over and over again, you can keep that smile on your face because you know that it's coming. You feel it in your heart. It's difficult sometimes because if you're not grounded and you're not talking to God, it's hard because everybody around you saying, no, nothing's happening. No, nothing's going on. But you know in your heart, something's going on.
So how is it for you with you? Have you got like a support network where you are? Like, do you have friends? I mean, you mentioned that obviously it's a little bit So is that person there then?
That's actually my roommate.
Hey.
And the great thing about him is he's awake.
Oh, what's his name?
Doug.
Doug. Hi, Doug. Cameo appearance from Doug. How's it going for you? Oh, he's like, get me off the camera.
Good. Both eyes wide open. So to speak.
Yeah. And is it just you two both that have each other, or like, do you have a group of individuals that you connect with?
We got a crew.
There's like a group of us, like 6 or 7 of us that all are non-Jabberwockied.
At least we think.
Yeah. Well, my brother too. He's not for it. So I hang around the positive people, the right uplifting people, and
that really helps.
Oh my God, it helps so much. That's why I love like your messages. I love your statuses. I love like everyone's statuses are like, keep your heart hot, keep your heart strong. It's coming. And if you're around people that are going to keep telling you negative stuff, our brains are like a program in a computer, and it's based off repetition. So if you're going to keep hearing it over and over, it's going to stress you out.
Yeah.
So it's really
good point.
That's why if I feel down, I'll go on Facebook and I'll read what you have to say, or I'll read what Madonna English has to say, or read what Galactic Greg has to say, or, oh my God, there's so many amazing people. There's so many amazing people. Mel K, Charlie Ward, they're all keeping so positive, and minus the frustration, you guys are the reason that I keep doing this. You guys are the reason I keep my energy high, and I want to do the same for you and everyone around me.
Oh, transforming toxicity back to love. See, you got it right there. Because look, we are all experiencing various emotions in this. And yes, you've said some very good points there, that it is important to focus on the positive, but being realistic at the same time. So knowing what battles to kind of pick. People are in different circumstances though, and it's not so easy. You're going to have the husband and wife. One's weight, one's not. What about that? Think of the wife or think of the husband that is the awakened one. I mean, this is why I do what I do, because I put myself into these variable, situations, and I think about these people, and I really try and home in on what they must be going through. And this is where we do what we do, it's just to keep a sense of, we don't have the answers, don't have timelines, we don't know which way this is exactly going to go. I don't speak in the kind of Q language or trust the plan or anything like that, never have. I have shared a couple of posts. I'm not saying either or, we just don't know right now. It has provided quite a lot of information. It's kind of got us to work, and it's got us to open our eyes a bit more. But it's how a lot of people have interpreted the information, and then it's been analyzed, and then what's happened is old-fashioned behavior of nitpick, and that's what has happened. So that sort of toxic residual debris like resides in all of us. We can be quick to criticize someone, or prone to being sensitive about a situation, and it's this toxicity that needs to be transmuted and transformed back to love, and send all that toxicity to source and God's light. Because we are all fallible. We get to a place where this is a roller coaster of emotions. When I went through the health sort of episode, it was like, God, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I couldn't bear even doing a video. Like for those 8 weeks or so that I didn't do anything, the thought of it was like crippling. However, when what you said earlier on, Wasim, God, divine, and when you have that implicit trust in the divine, and guess what that means? You have trust in self.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be okay.
Because God is self. Yeah.
Timelines, though, is what my main thing is for people to say, look, let's transmute from there. So let's see if there's more people. I am that wife, Lacey Blues saying, I'm that wife, my husband's asleep, and see what do you do? I think we're going into a moment of acceptance. We actually don't know, because also on our side, there's the fear mongering there. Like, don't take it. it's going to do XYZ. So we've stepped into that fear because we love our loved ones. We don't also know the truth. Like, could this also be a bit of a ruse? Because I saw a few posts that said that a lot of people have got the saline. So that's encouraging in the sense that hopefully they haven't gotten the one that's going to be, you know what I mean, right? So we just don't know, Wasim. But toxicity is everywhere. And you were saying in our food.
Mm-hmm. But instead of expecting the worst, we have to expect the best, because you choose the timeline you go on based on your vibration. It's like a radio tuner. So depending on your frequency, you're actually multidimensional, which means you're in multiple timelines at once. So depending on your vibration, you'll keep elevating or the opposite of elevating, diminishing, I guess.
Yeah.
But so what I believe, like for the husband and wife, where one is and one's not, I believe that the one that's not has to take more time to focus on themselves. I know it's challenging, but the way I stay grounded is I have to spend a lot of time alone. I got to have my me time. I got to be in nature, listen to my own meditation beats, my frequencies. We're cells, so cells vibrate. So different frequencies bring out like a harmonic state or a chaotic state. So like 432 hertz frequencies on YouTube, take some headphones, put those on. That'll help.
Yeah.
528 hertz for God's miracle frequency. You can put those on. That'll help as well. The foods, I cannot emphasize that enough. Please, like, turn it around and just do a little research on not the calories or the macros. That does not matter. It's the ingredients that are in the food. Nobody looks at ingredients. And I promise you, if people start with that first and foremost, because a lot of people are plant-based, for example, but there's a lot of genetically modified corn, genetically modified soy in a lot of plant-based. But plant-based can work if you're eating the right quality foods. I promise you, if you eat the right quality foods, your cells become really strong and you're able to handle your reactions work really, really well. You're able to take a situation and just breathe instead of freaking out or worrying, because we've all been there. So I really encourage people to just like take care of yourself, really, really take care of yourself, and do things you love. If you have a dog, I know you have a beautiful dog. You have a beautiful dog. And what does a dog do? Just love you. And that releases the chemical oxytocin in your brain, which is the love chemical. So you start releasing more of it. And what happens? Your whole body heals. Your mind heals. So it's this state of love.
Yep, very nicely said. And we've got quite a few people that have popped on. A lady from Israel, thank you so much, Sariel. It's really nice that you've jumped on, and that's just some kind things that people are saying, and I really appreciate that. You know, some people are saying that I'm the husband, and you know, and someone's saying I'm the wife, and my husband is asleep. So yeah, I'm seeing definitely some low vibrational people. Stay away from them.
I think another thing that really helps when you have your alone time, you're able to, I know this is crazy, but you're able to change your reality. So if you really truly believe that the person can be healed, they will heal, because everything's quantum energy. But if you believe, oh, there's no chance, there's no way, you just created that in your mind and you're manifesting it more and more. So we have to stay positive. I know people don't want to, because you have to be realistic, but your reality is based on your personal reality, which is your personality. It makes so much sense. It's all based on.
That sounded like a rap song. I was about to dance there.
Kinda, but it was actually from who said that? Joe Dispenza said that. Dr. Joe Dispenza. And they just basically teach us that our brain is a computer, so we have to just change the programming, because we've been programmed for so long, and we're programmed to judge people. We're programmed to that person's doing this, that person's doing that. They never teach you to look inward. And then when you look inward, you find God, you find love, you start expressing it. Because I see miserable people outside, but I actually give a smile, because naturally I do that now. Like, I'll look at someone, I'll just smile at them, like,
You got a lovely smile as well.
You too. You do too. You absolutely do. And I mean that. But you see, like what we're doing right now, I'm raising your vibration just like you're raising mine. That means you're elevating my emotions and I'm elevating your emotions. That's what we're supposed to do as beings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Elevate, empower, evolve. That's what
I I compare it to Pokemon. Like when you're playing the game, you get these little Pokemon pocket monsters and you level them up. You're in the world and you level them up through experience, training, and then they learn new abilities and you work together. You train with other Pokemon so you get stronger. It's a ridiculous analogy, but it really makes sense.
Metaphorically makes a lot of sense, of course, because you're around the similar frequency, which, you know, you want to be raising in your vibration all the time. If you're around someone where there's a push-pull and there's a resistance, you're feeling stuck, and it's just this playing like havoc within your inner frequency and your inner energy, where you're like, am I coming or going? And we all have that. We all are met with that. The situation, like, for example, with me, I'm with my dog and my mother lives with me, and you know, we're not on the same page. She's awake as far as the Jabberwocky is concerned, but there's a resistance to want to understand what's going on. There's a difference. It's not that she's being resistant because she's being stubborn because she doesn't want to know. It's just the resistance because it's heavy. And at their age, it's a lot. So we employ compassion for our elders as well. And I get that. There's the anger, there's the frustration, there is the annoyance, and I go through that, you know. I go through that on a day-to-day basis when you just see some sort of the levels of stupidity that's out there, you know. Seriously, this is where my patience wears thin, but I have to go internal and see, why is that triggering me so much? It's like in the coffee shop today, someone had a mask. It was the pink one, nice pink one, and the partners were sitting opposite each other, beautiful couple, holding each other's hands, so in love. I was just confused, first of all. It's like, how can you even understand what each other's saying? And secondly, every time she had her coffee, she was going and lifting it up like that. She was sat on the table, but she kept it up. And I thought, wow. And then I saw the little...
Oh,
because
the magnet? No,
yeah.
just kidding.
Oh dear, my phone's gone. Can't see who's online now. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to check the interaction with the crowd. Yeah, so that's where you kind of like are tested. But again, the best that we can do is try not to judge. And I walk away thinking, why did that bother me so much?
That's what it is. It's the awareness, because you're such a high vibrational being that you actually get the lessons faster because you are aware of them, because it's making you react, and you're smart enough. You have a brain where you're thinking, why is that bothering me? That means you're leveling up faster and higher than ever, because you're going to need that in the next world, because there's so many people that are going to need your help. So
Yeah.
you're going through lessons faster than everybody else. A lot of people are repeating mistakes. That's why we're in retrogrades over and over again. This is a
yes. Retro, repeat,
yeah.
redo, review, everything
And it's fascinating because it's everyone has their own retrograde, but you can see like people around us, like it's like I'll talk to my roommate and it'll be like, something from my past is coming back. Or some weird situation where like he saw an ex-roommate and his ex-roommate masked up and he wanted to shake his hand and he went like this.
We didn't really get along. It's whatever.
So, but yeah, that's just an example. Like these retrogrades are happening and you have a higher level of awareness. You know, we're getting smarter. So when this stuff happens, you think about it and then you're like, oh, okay. Because life happens for you, not to you.
Yeah. And don't you find that you're speaking about being alone? Like, I love my own company. Like, I'm a real laugh. Like, I'm constantly laughing on my own. It's just that when I get met with certain sort of energies now, because I've been on my own for so long, it's like I find it very overwhelming going out now. I mean, I just Kenzo and myself are always out doing stuff, and I take him with me everywhere. But like obviously we haven't been able to socialize as much here in the UK, but it's so sporadic for me that I just love that balance. I couldn't be around people that much all the time for now. It's been like 5 years for me, pretty much. You know, being a bit of an extroverted introvert, because so it's, you know, really strengthened me internally to kind of be okay with my own company and loving that. But yes, I love connection as well. You know, I love meeting new people. I love going out. But it's the balance, and it's just it's that awareness. Exactly. Everything is about, like, you take full responsibility for yourself and your life. So people are going to present themselves in the form of these triggers, and these are wounds that are going to be opening up as a result of somebody's action. But if we have that awareness and that ability, that psychological ability to be able to assess that, okay, I can see what's happening here. We learn to literally hold space for it, hold space for that emotion, not do what we were taught to, which is sweep it under the carpet and just have no recognition of it, because that emotion will express itself in the dis-ease in the body. And that's what happened to me, essentially. And I tell you what, in these last 4 weeks, if people recall my sort of About Time I Say Hi video, I could barely string a sentence together in that. I was nervous about coming back online, but I did want to say hi to my YouTube family because it was quite a long time. But it was the inner tenacity and the willingness to just, you know, rise my frequency and be committed to being empowered internally and being healed every single day and affirming that. And I tell you, everyone that's watching, when you affirm internally that I am well, everything that you put after the I am, it is so powerful, because the reverberations and that frequency that whatever you're saying, it is powerful. I am well. All is well. And I don't know, I do this one. I always find parking. I always find parking. I speak to my parking fairies, and it's like today the same thing happened, but I was in a bit of a lower vibration and I wasn't finding parking for a while. Snapped out, neutralized it, and guess what, within 2 minutes I found parking, and I was like a little bit like annoyed. So for someone like me who's very like empathic and sensitive, I only understand too well for keeping a check on self.
I'm going to give a little secret. There's a little hack. I discovered this very recently. And so the reason that works for you is repetition. You did it over and over again, and you affirmed it over, I am well, I am well, I am well, every day. At first, you didn't think it, but after a while, you start to believe it. Why? It's because every day you're repeating, so you're saying it consciously. Like, a lot of people want to change. For example, people will say, I want to lose weight. So why do they give up after 3 days? Because that's not enough time for the conscious mind to enter the subconscious mind. You have to repeat it over and over so it becomes a habit. And I know this is true because if you start doing it over and over and over again, at first you don't like it because the subconscious mind does not like change. Anything that has to do with change, it'll be like, no. We have to keep you safe. So if you go try to do something new, most of the time your subconscious mind is going to project a reality which gives you the opposite of what you want. Just to see, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want to do this? And if you keep going through with it, your world changes because you've programmed a new code into your subconscious mind, usually after maybe 21 days, like 3 weeks, and then it becomes a habit. Yep. Where all of a sudden you don't have to think about it. You just go do it. This really works. It's called reprogramming the mind. It's so true, and people do it with affirmations, but there's a big hack that really works, and I encourage everyone to try this because it really works. Every morning and when you wake up and right before you go to bed, your brain is very suggestive to information because you're going from different brain waves. You're waking up from a dream state. If you take some headphones and you listen to affirmations, even if it's subliminal where your subconscious mind can hear it, but your conscious mind can't, your world will change so unbelievably fast. It is mind-blowing. So every morning you wake up, go on YouTube, put up a subliminal that you're looking for. You want to change your eye color. You want to get taller. You want to be happier. There are subliminals for that. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. People are like, this is ridiculous. Because at first I was like, this doesn't work. There's no way this works. Put it on every morning.
I want to get taller. I'm 5'2". I could do with an inch or two.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I could do with being a bit taller.
I'm telling you, it works because you're an infinite being. We just forgot that because we've created limits on ourselves. So what you do is every morning, if let's say grow taller, you listen to it and you listen to it for like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It keeps saying, I'm taller. I'm grateful to be taller. And you're saying this over and over in your mind. And then you go about your day. And then right before you go to sleep, you listen to it again. Sometimes you can even have headphones on while you sleep. So, because when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind is awake. So you can just keep putting the program in over and over and over again. And I promise you, within a couple weeks, maybe less, depending on your belief, you will grow. You will grow to 5'5". And you'll be like, go ahead.
Can I let you into a secret then? I'm happy with the way I am. I'm happy with what God's gifted me.
Of course.
But that's a very interesting point because that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, with the treatments that I've been having, which is all based on quantum healing, phenomenal naturopath that I've been seeing, she uses all this plasma light, the therapeutics that Mr. T talks about. And she's widely awake. She's just brilliant. And she is a functional naturopath, but a functional, what a doctor should be. I just said to her name's Lisa, and I love her. I said, you sat here within 1 hour. I know I've got a roadmap, specifically like with the bioresonance health optimizing assessment. So what they did first was I had this Helderberg pill. So it tests the acidity of my stomach and my gut. And then from there, we do this bioresonance frequency test, which shows you at a cellular level the homeostasis of your body and what's going on in everywhere. And it was really, really good. So we've done a lot of things in stages. And one of the things that she suggested as well was the voice analysis, which is what you're kind of referring to with the binaural beats. So what this voice analysis does is it picks up who you are. And it's just this phenomenal technology. She's the only one in the UK that does it. Yeah, it is phenomenal. It picks up all your trauma and what age that trauma was set in. And the technology I was just wowed. And then once she compiles the report, the system compiles this frequency for you so that it starts to reprogram you. So you have to listen to it the first thing in the morning and then last thing in the evening. Right. So, and it's just like this screechy noise. And I'm like, oh my God, Tiana is the one who recommended me to this. This is just, she's an amazing woman. I'm trying to get her on my show and she said she will. I just know people will love her, but you're so right about first thing in the morning and first thing, last thing at night. There's so much out there on YouTube, isn't there?
Yeah. And I'll share I'll share this because some of the things I did were muscle building, testosterone boosting. I mean, I've always been pretty healthy for the past 4 years, but I wanted to try some new things because they have some awesome subliminals. Grow your hair longer.
I want that one.
It works though. It all works. And I've been doing this actually, I used to do this years ago, but I really believed in my mind this was ridiculous. This is not going to work. So I kept giving up. This was the first time that I've been doing it consistently over and over again. And I can vouch, I could see my body change. I saw my face change. My hair grew longer. I was just like, wait.
You've got hair that, I would love.
I mean, but everyone can grow. Everybody can grow it. Everyone can grow this. We're all humans. Because if you cut your skin, it grows back. That's a perfect example. We're creators. We literally create cells. We just got to change the programming of what cells you want to create. That's it. And then your world changes. You change, your body changes because you're not your body. You're actually everything. So your body change. First you see the body change, then you see everybody around you changes. When you're happier, people are nicer to you. You're like, what's going on? And people treat you differently.
Yeah. You walk in with a smile everywhere. Even with people's masks on, you can actually see they're smiling back at you because you can just kind of see their eyes. And I have to remember that. And people watching this as well, maybe this applies to you. Like I used to get, like at this point, I would go into the supermarket and I would find myself getting frustrated, you know, in the beginning. And I'd just rock up ready for an argument with somebody, like ready to just give all my knowledge and everything and what act and have you. I don't do any of that. I just smile and I glide in. Yeah. And this was before there was an acceptance of people walking into the supermarket and saying, and people, like, you know, I'm exempt. But yeah, you're right. Like it's just that energy that we have. And if we are feeling low and down, that's going to transpire.
Yeah. And and a lot of people look for it. They're like, oh, look at that person with the mask. Look at this. Look at that. I'm like, look at, focus your attention on something else.
Yes.
If you see the person with the mask, why don't you look at the dog instead? Because the dog is a vibration of love. You don't really care about the person with the mask. So focus on the love, focus on the dog. That's what I do. Like I literally, when I go outside, you have the whole world. You can choose what you want to put your attention on.
Yeah.
So I tell people that when they're like, oh, people tell me to wear a mask. I'm like, were you looking for it? What were you doing before that? And they all were just like, yeah, I was thinking about that. It was all over. And I'm like,
They were fearing, oh, I'm going to be asked for the mask. And I have this friend that I met through this, and just consistently also on this side of the fear, that fear-based energy. Can you just believe it? I mean, just the amount of people are just like really I just can't cope anymore, Alpa. And I'm like, easy now, you know, just chill out. It's, yeah, you know, nothing's happening, nothing. I mean, can you just see everyone's just taking this and it's just distraught. She ended up sick.
because fear is controlling.
Yeah.
When you're in fear, you will listen to you're just not in the state of, I don't want to listen to anyone. I don't want to be healthy. Your cells.
Yes. But it's that resistance to also on the other side, like where you see, we can't be in this kind of self-righteous, like we are awake and then we know better. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, there's work that we all need to do. We've all been hit by this bull poop. Yeah, you know, this programming. Sorry. My mother does get annoyed at me. She goes, Alpa, don't swear on your show. I don't like it.
So.
Which is true. She's raised me well and it doesn't suit me. But sometimes I lose my cool.
That's okay.
But you know, it's true. It's just we go out there and it's that we're expecting to have a confrontation. Well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to get that. So on this side, it's this self-righteous, we know better, or we've done so much research. And I actually read some other people's posts, to see what are they thinking of this side when they're reading our stuff. And I thought, I bit my lip. And it's like the one, this particular person was taking the mick out of everyone saying that just do your research. It's like, oh, what does that mean? You're just using the internet. Think about it, right? Think about it from which way that they're looking at it. I'm not agreeing.
Okay, of course.
I'm not agreeing with them, but it's just the level of their programming that they're at and where we're at. Yeah. So we're kind of the same because they think they're right. And we're like, we know we're all right because of all this horrible, sinister things that we've found out. So it's like, how can you not be awake to that? How can you not respond? How can you have this cognitive dissonance? We go into that level of self-righteousness. It's that right action, what we think. But how are we going to get to that place of unity if we continue to be in this sort of polarized state? So how do we transform this toxicity back to love? And I love the things that you've said today, you know, it's that energy that we give to it. It's the expectation that we have. Expect that it's going to be a good day. It will be a good day. Expect it, demand it, command it. Because for someone that's raising in their vibration every single day, and if you have chosen to wake up in this side, you're already vibrating at a different frequency. So you have opportunity every single day to just elevate and empower yourself and like come out of this reliance on anyone else to do it for you. It's tough. It is tough. And I get it. And I cry many times before I go to sleep for humanity. And I do, you know, because we are there And we see people that we love who've taken the Jabberwocky, and I put my hands up. I was there. I went into that fear pool, stomach in knots, sick, But what am I doing? Going back to that awareness. What was I doing? I was doing exactly what we say the others are doing, because residing in that fear porn of the unknown. Right? Now, we're seeing casualties in this, and that's heartbreaking. It really is. It's really, really heartbreaking. And I couldn't cope when it came to the children. Yeah. Because this is where, right, everyone on this side, start talking about it. Start taking action, start bombarding those people who are considering to do what you can, so you feel that you have given them enough information so that they make an informed decision. And if they take that decision to go and give it to their kids, oh my gosh, wow.
There's another subject when you involve the kids. That's just, the fear is so controlling to the point where people will be like, I got to do this. I got to get this for the kids too. It's just, oh my God. And you know this too, because they feed their kid. Look at the food they feed their kids in the morning, the cereals and all that. And they're like, yeah, I'll give my kid anything they want. I'll give my dog anything they want. It's just like, this is all poison. This is all poison. Let alone this, just even anything consumption. It's all poison. And I believe more people need to stand up, because I'm hearing more children are standing up than adults.
Yeah, and that's brilliant to see. That is brilliant. The Star Indigo children are here for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they're way higher than star seeds, because the newest generations that are coming out, we're not talking about Gen Z or Z, whatever. We're talking about the ones that are like 4 years old and they just know what's going on.
They do. This baby that I saw the other day, and it was just staring at me, and I was like looking around, saying there's no one around. And I started tapping into the energy of this baby. It was just looking at me with so much love, but it looked like a little mature baby that knew what was going on. I just got that feeling instantly. And then I thought it was like, then I held Kenzo, and I thought that's what, she's staring at. She didn't stare at Kenzo, she was just staring at me, and she just smiling. And then she was looking every time I moved, and she was like that. It was so beautiful. And that's the pure essence of a child.
Of life.
God, that divinity.
And that's what we're about to experience very, very soon. And it's getting super, super chaotic, but it's got to go on a little longer.
It has to. Once we've done that, it has to happen this way. This is not a couple of years of programming that we're trying to undo. This is thousands of years in conditioning, societal conditioning. This has been going on from the days of the Mahabharata, biggest epic in the Sanatana Dharma, what's also known as Hinduism. But you read some of these stories, and ultimately, it's the battle of good over evil. When you break it down, you can have whatever sort of layers or whatever lenses that you want to look at it. This is just this polarized thing that's happening in society, and we want to embrace our brothers and sisters and come into unity consciousness. And so changing our own behavior and our own perception, and with the right intention for things, that's where we start.
Yeah, and being able to, it's really cool, because I've been watching your videos for 1.5 years, and it's so awesome that I'm actually speaking to you now, which is, it's like, wow, like one of my favorite YouTubers is actually speaking to me. And that's really, really nice, because it's just like, you don't have to, but you chose to. And my goal with that was, let me increase your vibration just like you've increased mine for the past 1.5 years.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to say something about that I found the whole social media fraternity very fake for many years. I found it difficult to participate in that whole camaraderie of I just found it fake, very fake. I didn't really see the necessity to kind of tell everyone about everything that I was doing in my life, because it was a trap by the deep state. We know that now. And it's like an Instagram, it's like a drug, the instant gratification, pull, where people's emotions and psychological makeup is tested. That, this person didn't get back to me, this person blocked me, this person did this to me. And I was observing this for many years, just observing the psychological behavior and patterns of social media and the impact that it's having on society. Slow poison. It was a slow poison from 2007. Yeah. The advent of instant emails. I used to have the BlackBerry, and I remember I was the first one to get like one of these BlackBerries with the little tracker on the side where you can get instant emails. This was in 2004. And it was like this kind of rush where I was like, I get emails before the rest of my team does, because I was self-employed. I was working in the financial services industry, and like it was brilliant for me because I was getting information instantly. But what has that done as well for us? It's this instant stuff. It's pulled our psychological ways of being, right? And so I digress, but going back to what I'm saying about, like, I'm just the same as you, just a fellow sister that was appalled by what I discovered. And I may not have been awake like so many people I respect. For some people writing to me and say, Alpa, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, they've known this, and not being able to speak or not being amongst the community. Imagine how we're feeling now for a short time. Yeah, people have done it for 20 odd years plus. I salute you lot. I salute you with my heart and soul, because that's the test of your inner resolve and your tenacity and as a human. Some people don't need to sort of scream and shout and whatever. They deal with it from an inner plane. Yeah. So maybe this was my role to do that. I don't see myself as any more or less than anyone. We're all, we are all, and thank you for saying such kind words. I really am humbled.
I mean it.
But I feel blessed that, I've got the trolling and all of that. I found that hilarious. I'm a shill. That was a funny one. But, you overcome that because you bring humor into it. So it's about having that balance. You can be serious and be motivated to fight for what's right, but have the balance as well, like lighten up, and that's what I love about meeting people who are funny in this, the memes. I'm a queen of memes. I love the memes.
But we all do. They're great.
And sarcastic. I'm Brit, so I'm sarcastic.
And this is my favorite quote for the past year and a half has been, reset your moral compass. You know who said that.
I like that. Huh?
You know who said that? The great Charlie Ward.
Reset you. Bless.
But when he said that, resetting the moral compass, he's absolutely right, because that basically means do the right thing in your heart. And I've noticed that every time that I made a better decision, whether it was a selfless decision, your life becomes easier, because your life gets better, because you actually receive blessings. The blessings are real. Blessings are actual positive energy that goes within you, and it actually manifests into a more positive outcome. Same with negative. If you're going to gossip and talk poorly about someone, you're the one who expressed it. So it ultimately comes back to you, because you get the bad vibration of that. But I'm serious. When Charlie Ward said, reset your moral compass, I lived my life. I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. And I did that to the point where I'm in the state of bliss and joy and pure happiness. And I'm not always happy. That's a fact. People annoy me. But when they do, I keep calm and I just move on. Like trolls, for example. I've been getting trolled, but I don't give them a reaction. I don't respond to them. They're not. I know a part of me does. My ego, it was like, you should respond. You should respond. Nope. They don't deserve it.
Absolutely.
And then they go away.
Giving it energy. You're giving it energy. Sometimes, it's hard not to read the comments, and I try not to, but then I want to also engage with the people who've made the effort to, just express their views, the kindness that they share, with me, the time that they've taken to, really express positivity, and I love that. I wish I could get back to everybody a lot more, but I'd be like, you know, here for years if I was to get back to every single message on all my videos. But I think it's beautiful, and yeah, you get a couple of people that, you know, want to shill, but I think in ratio there's more positive.
So many more positive.
So many more. So it teaches you, and I've been okay with that. Like, you know, I'm absolutely okay. Like I said, my first thing's like, we're not here to win a popularity contest. It's actually coming in to make connections, and that are, you know, elevating us, empowering us. Because when you're empowering someone else, what you said earlier, your vibrations are raising. You just feel good because you see the happiness on the smile on that person's face, but not from a place of false flattery. It is not like that, because that's what social media has done. It actually has, that's the fakeness. That's one of the kind of energetic pulls that I felt with that it's just staple sort of responses to everything. But where's the authenticity to actually looking and homing into a person's energy and saying, you're actually really flipping cool, you know? I love you, you know? And I do, Wasim, I said to you the other day, like I've been thinking of, we were supposed to connect a long time ago, but this was the right time.
This was the right time.
Albeit, like, you know, they kind of made it a little bit tricky for us, but we got there and we're here. No big deal, no drama. And, you know, people are watching. Sorry, I'm just going to see how, oh gosh, we've got quite a few people on. Thank you, everybody. So many messages. I'm really sorry. I was just having to switch screens. So I'm not being able to interact with you and engage as much, but I have really appreciated everyone jumping on board, and I've really enjoyed this. And on a final note, Wasim, you know, you're an incredible guy. I feel I'm going out with my friend this evening. Going to have a bit of a spring in my step, but of course, ultimately, you know, we're in the driving seat of our own life. So, final few words from the guy with beautiful hair.
My final few words are dedicated to you, because like I said before, you uplifted my spirits. You are also a big reason why I woke up. You are also a big reason why I stand up for myself. I have the self-love. It's people like you. It's so many amazing people. And all those trolls and all the people that were once in my life that disrespect me now when I post or whatever, they're gone. That deleted, because I'd rather focus on you, Madonna English, Galactic Greg, Jason Q, Mel K. There's so many amazing people. Yeah. And that's why I actually love social media now, because I see amazing posts.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure everyone will get something from this. There's nuggets of wisdom that you've imparted today, and I really appreciate that. And we'll be back on again soon. Everyone, thank you for joining on, and apologize for the kerfuffle in the beginning. So it's not shown on YouTube. I'm sorry, Facebook, unfortunately. But you'll be seeing me again soon. And until then, have a great day further.